Guys, the Pokemon market is absolutely out of control. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, subscribe. Today we are going to be doing a new segment. We're going to be talking about some eBay sold listings that we had. If you're interested, all of the cards that we are talking about have already sold, but we have a ton of other products. Graded cards, singles, sealed packs, eBay link down in the description below. But in this video, I really wanted to focus on just what's happening in the market and giving an overview. So right here, starting off, we have a PSA 10 Krabby Japanese Vending Series 2. And what you're going to find is this sticker right here was from a convention we did less than 1 year ago. And this Krabby we were trying to sell for $90. Nobody bought it. And now, not even a year later, it has sold for $200. It sold for more than double in 1 year. Now, you don't see anybody on YouTube or anybody, quite frankly, discussing the strength of the Japanese. Everybody's just talking about Prismatic Elite Trainer boxes, Destined Rival booster boxes. Everybody is focused solely on English sealed products. And what I want to talk about is that the growing demand is not just found in the English side. As a matter of fact, I have found substantially faster gains on niche-like products that are rare and difficult to come across. In this video here, we're going to be looking at just 3 sales that I found were really quite interesting. And this one, like I said, less than a year ago, we had a difficult time selling it for $90, and we just sold it for double the value online. And the person that bought this is probably going to be able to sell it for $400 in a couple of months. PSA 10s are extremely hard to grade, particularly cards that are from 1998. Krabby, not a household name, not a very popular Pokemon. You don't really see anybody discussing the opportunity in a Krabby. But this just goes to show how much people are flowing into the hobby, because even what you would think is a random Pokemon, I mean, people are collecting them. Every single Pokemon species, fire type, water type, it doesn't matter. If it's a high grade, if it's a rare card, and it's not easy to come by, it's going to grow in value over time. And this is not even the craziest sale. We're just getting started, you guys. So that one had a difficult time selling it a year ago for $90, sold for double. Next one, PSA 10 Seel Series 2. Beautiful card. Love the artwork. Just chilling in a cave. Hand-drawn artwork. Once again, 1998. Vending series. I'm seeing a lot of smart money flowing into the stuff that is difficult to acquire. And I think what's happening is the vending series sheets 1, 2, and 3 are getting so hard to come by in mint pristine condition. You don't have very much gem mint copies. So a lot of people are now scooping these up. But once again, this was the exact same convention. Had a very difficult time selling this card for $70. And this one just sold on our eBay for $300. That is more than 4 times what we were trying to sell it less than a year ago. Now, no English sealed products has 4x'd in value. Every single PokeTuber right now is talking about how Prismatic rose $50 in price. But what you're going to find is in a lot of these niche items, it just shows how much opportunity there is in the Pokemon market and seeing values in where other people don't. You don't need to be doing what everybody else is doing to be successful. And quite frankly, I think that the sale we made right now at $300, it feels cheap in this market because you're seeing even worse Pokemon. This is a gorgeous artwork on the seal, but you're seeing even worse Pokemon artworks going for, in PSA 10 of the same vending series 2 for $400, $500, $600. And there's just not too many hitting the market. So, you know, in these more low pop niche-like cards, historical cards, 1998, think of how long ago that was. To find pristine raw copies, you don't have that many. So a lot of people are buying these up. But this one was just absolutely blew me away. But this last card is where it gets really crazy. And after I saw this card, I know that we're out of control with the hobby. Because these I could understand. It's Japanese vending series. It's not easy to come by. The sheets are getting very, very expensive. We have some sheets available in our eBay link down in the description below. A lot of people have been buying them from us. A lot of people are buying these Japanese vending cards. But now this is going to be the most interesting sale. And the reason for making the video. Same exact convention. We have a Japanese Neo Genesis Slowking, PSA 10. It's got that beautiful swirl intertwined right there. Japanese Neo Gen Slowking, $240 is how much we were trying to sell it for less than a year ago at a convention. Again, nobody bought it. People thought it was overpriced. We had some people, you know, stop by the booth, offered $180, $200. we thought that this was priced rather competitively. Again, Japanese Neo Genesis packs at the time were going up in value. Japanese vintage packs, for those that don't know, do come with guaranteed hollows, so the pops tend to be a little bit higher. Now, the Japanese Slowking here of Neo is nowhere near the first edition counterpart in English, but what's fascinating is this card right here just sold on our eBay for $2,000. So we had a 2X on the Krabby in less than a year. We had a 4X on the Seel, and this card just sold for almost 10 times. Not exactly 10 times, but just quick math, like 8X, whatever. $2,000 on the PSA 10 Slowking Japanese Neo. And you know what's fascinating? Is this is a low comp. Because the lowest to now get the same exact card, it's like at the time of recording this video, it's like 2,500. I'm seeing some people are listing 3,000. You're just seeing how fast English products are rising. And what I believe is happening is a lot of people are getting priced out on the English side. So now they're going to the next best thing, which is going to be Japanese. And I've seen it firsthand. English is not growing at the same rate that Japanese is. And a lot of money is moving now into foreign product. And it just goes to show that there's opportunity in anything that you do in the Pokemon market. There's just so many people that are entering. And I don't know if these are just collectors, investors, but what I am here to say is, from my own observation, is the market is strong all around. Everybody only seems to be focused on the sealed side, but I'm noticing substantially bigger opportunity and gains on graded cards, singles, and I think nobody's talking about it, so I'm going to be the first to document about it, but it is just absolutely crazy to me that a year ago, you could have bought this card from me for $240, and nobody wanted to buy it then. But now, when other people are trying to sell the same card for $2,500, $3,000, suddenly my $2,000 price tag feels cheap. And the person that bought it for $2,000, as crazy as this sound, is probably going to make a killing. Because 1 or 2 years is going to go by, and I would not be surprised if for this PSA 10 Slowking, you're paying $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. That is just the rate of which these products are trending, and the growth, it feels unsustainable, but I mean, the people are buying them. And I don't see the same thing happening for the lower grades. I don't see it happening for 7, 8s, 9s, but there just seems to be such a massive like premium on having the Gem in 10. And I don't know if this is because PSA has now raised the prices and it's basically more expensive to grade, which is naturally just causing all PSA slabs to go up in price. I'm not really sure. I just wanted to kind of document, share my observations, talk about these 3 crazy sales, because when the market was weak, you could have been scooping these up for such cheap amounts, $70, $90, $240. And if you take all of the sales together, this is 2,500 of confirmed paid sales. And if you tally up this, it's less than $400. So it is absolutely crazy, the direction of the Pokemon market. It does not look like it is slowing down anytime soon. And even if the Pokemon Company starts reprinting every set into the ground, do you know what is going to be affected? Modern. They're not reprinting 1998 vending Series 2 sheets. They are not adding more year 2000 Neo Genesis packs into the market. And I think if you've made it up until this point in the video, everybody just seems to be focused on what's going on with modern. But secretly, there's so much more opportunity in vintage. The vintage cards were, for a very long time, undervalued, incredibly undervalued. It never made sense to me. We recently just sold a PSA 9 first edition Erica's Venusaur for $750 on our eBay. There's so many steals on our eBay. After this video, take a look, buy some slabs. You guys are all going to make a killing. But right now, we're seeing that same exact card in 2 weeks later, already trending up to 1,000. But it still feels extremely off because the PSA 10 counterpart, which, for those who don't know, the difference between a 9 and a 10 that PSA assigns could be the tiniest little speck of white. It's such a unnoticeable difference, but there's such a big premium. That Venusaur in a 10 is going for $10,000. And a 9 is only 1,000. So it's quite fascinating that for a tiny little speck of white, you could be charging 10 times as much. It almost feels like the 9's undervalued and probably why a person bought it. But what I'm noticing is it's not just the strength in the US. These cards are being bought by collectors all over the world. We've had people buy these graded cards from Italy. We've had people buy them from Germany, even Japan. And it just seems like there is a boom everywhere. And it doesn't look like it's going to slow down on the vintage side. Modern, again, a little bit more controllable. The Pokemon company will start increasing production, things like that. That might weaken the modern, but the vintage has been extremely resilient. I think the vintage market has been just slow for far too long. Modern was trending. Alt arts were going up in value. And now it is finally where vintage is having its day, where cards, I think, are beginning to be a little bit more appropriately valued. You know, if you even look at it, a perfect 10 on this Krabby, on a sheet, you're getting 3 cards, with the exception of Vending Series 3, which has 4. But on Series 1 and 2, you only have 3 cards on the sheet. Let's say the sheet cost $100, which now they cost substantially more. These sheets are some of them go for $500, $600, even $1,000 plus. But let's just say you paid $100 for a sheet. Each card is effectively costing you $33. If you even do the bulk submission out of PSA, you're paying $25. That's like $50 on your cost. And a Gem Mint 10 to be only, what, $20, $30 more? It's just not enough premium for, I guess, the effort and the luck needed to get that Gem Mint 10 score. So what a lot of people are now doing is they're realizing that vintage cards are extremely undervalued, and they're buying them up, and they're paying record high prices. Because if it's low pop and nobody else has it, you can kind of set whatever price you want. And almost, if you're like the only one, if somebody really wants to buy that card, they kind of have to pay your price. And I'm only noticing this in vintage, which is why I wanted to document it, because I'm not seeing the same with modern. Modern, everybody's hoarding modern these days, but vintage is where the real gains are happening, and nobody seems to be discussing it. So I just thought this was a super interesting observation. Again, these 2 sales don't surprise me as much that they're hitting record sales, because they're very old, 1998. But the fact that this Neo Gen, I mean, a year ago, you guys, you could have bought this from me for $240, and now it's sold for $2,000. The person that bought it for $2,000 was actually messaging me, asking when it's going to be shipped. They want to get it in as fast as possible, because they already see that people are now charging $2,500, $3,000. And who knows, a month from now, 6 months from now, this might double again. We really don't know. But it just goes to show that vintage was undervalued for so long, and it's finally having its day. Nobody seems to be talking about what's happening on the vintage side. Everybody's just so occupied with modern and the inability to find product in stores. But if you made it this far into the video, take a look at the vintage market. Add some vintage to your collection, because they're not making more of it. And I think a lot of people are starting to notice. Hope you guys learned from something from this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. Seeing the subscriber count going up motivates me to make more videos. Make sure you like if you enjoy this kind of content. If you guys want me to document more of the eBay sales that are happening on our page, and just kind of talk about what I think is going on with the market, if you found any value, please let me know in the comments or subscribe. And with that, we will catch you here on the next one.